And welcome to week 4 of 24 weeks of Christmas. This is a collaboration that Angie, who is AB Designs, and I started, and Gareth, when he can join us, created Home with G. And also joining us now is Tony from Kate's Crafty Closet. So, what have I got for you today? Well, I have a whole bunch of Christmas scraps, and I wanted to do something with some of my scraps, so I throw them away. And so I started creating paper ruffles. Now, usually I use my little sewing machine and stitch them up and everything. And my tension broke on my little machine, and I don't want to drag my big machine out. So I want to show you how I make paper ruffles without sewing. So here's one that I've made, and I just used a little sticker on that one. Here's a small one that I did. Made it like a little page flag. And then here is one that I made all out of fabric. And I used Fabri-Tac on this one. Here's another little small one. Here's one that I made with a scrap of paper and a little rosette, crepe paper rosette, and a little mason jar cut out with a little sticker bow. And then there's another little one. So you can create these. Oh yeah, and this is one of my favorite ones right here. So you can create them all shape and sizes. I put the little strip of paper because this would be where it would be sewn. And you can stamp a little sentiment on there. So I'm going to show you how I created all of these. And they take barely any time at all. And you can do them all different shapes and sizes. I have little tiny pieces of paper, bigger paper. So I want to show you one right now that I'm going to do with fabric and paper together. Now this is 1.5 inches by 12 inches. And if you want a bigger one, you should go about 12 inches. And to get started, what I do is I measure off about 1 inch here. And I'm just going to take a little pencil. And I'm just going to mark that on my board. And then I'm going to go look for the middle of this, and I'm going to cut up to the 1 inch mark. And then I'm going to go from this corner to the place I cut, and from this corner to the place I cut. And I'm just going to dovetail this right here. Then what I do is, you can do it many ways, but I put my thumb down here at the bottom of where the dovetail is, and I'm doing it about a thumb's length. I'm bringing my paper up like this, and then I'm bending it over and making a crease. Now you do kind of want to keep it straight, especially if you're single-sided paper. Double-sided doesn't matter so much because if it hangs over a little bit, it gives it more character, and it has a little bit different looking to it. But on this, I'm just running a little bit of glue across the bottom of that where I put that in there and hold it down for a second. Then I'm going to put my thumb, this part of my thumb right here, on the crease of that one, and then bring it up and then crease it back down. And so I'm careful to line my edges up and my crease marks up like that. Then I'm just going to put a little bit of glue and hold it down. Now, if you do have some hanging over, it's okay. You can take your scissors when you're finished and just sort of trim, if I can put my hand in it, trim along the side like that. Any little pieces hanging over. Okay, there again, I'm going to use my thumb on the crease and then put my thumb there and then bring the paper over. And I'm going to crease it down. And if you have to twist it a little bit to make it straight, you can. Okay. Like that. Run a little bit of glue. See, on this one, I went over just a little bit, so I'm just going to take my scissors, clean that up. And then I'm going to take my thumb again, find my crease, and then bring it up. And lay it down. So I'm going to do this all the way to the end. Okay, we're about to the end here. I'm going to fold this over like that. Now I'm not going to obviously get another fold. So what I'm going to do is just put a little bit of glue here. And glue this part down. Flip it over. And cut that little piece off. Alright, so notice it kind of curls up a little bit. So what you're going to have to do is flip it over like this. And then we're going to go back on the back side. And we're just going to put a little glue in each one of these. And press down on it and hold that down for a minute. Put a little bit more on this one. I think I skipped it. And this is going to hold your shape. It's going to press it down. Now, what you can do is take a little piece of paper, any kind of contrasting color, same color or whatever, and I'm going to put this down in the middle. This kind of, like I said, represents like where you would sew it. So I'm just going to glue that down in the middle. And you want to stop it right there at the edge of your dovetail. Alright, so that's in the middle. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a little rosette, crepe paper rosette, and I'm going to put that on there. Okay. Now I said I wanted to mix fabric and paper this time, so I'm going to use this doily. And I'm going to layer it on top of that. Because this reminds me kind of a vintage color. And I want some vintage on here. So I am going to use Fabri-Tac for that part. Although I think my arc letter glue would hold it. If I can get my needle back in my bottle. Okay. I don't want to take any chances. I'd rather use Fabri-Tac. So I'm just going to go around the outside edges of this. About time to add some thinner to that, acetone. Alright. We're going to put that there. And then I have this beautiful button, has like a little gold poinsettia on it. And this has the middle part right here. So I'm going to add that to the middle of it. And I am going to use Fabri-Tac for this as well. Or you could use hot glue. I just didn't want to mess my hot glue gun up and fire it up for one little thing. And there we go. Isn't that pretty? Now these would look great on as bag toppers, as little things in your journals, like junk journals or little albums. You can even make little tags out of them. So I'm going to do one more. Let's do a small one. Let's do one of these. So I'm just using up all my little scraps to do these. And on this one, I'm going to measure up about 1/2 inch. So that's all I'm doing is making the little dovetails. Okay. Throw those in the trash. Now on the smaller ones, I use my finger, and you can lay it down for this. I used my little finger. Just the crease of it. It just really depends on how big you want your little piece to be. Oops, I scooted it. Okay. And you can either glue it while you're doing it or afterwards. The little ones, I just tend to go ahead and fold them all up. Okay, so now we're going to glue. And the first thing I'm going to do is glue this little piece down here. And then when I turn it over, I'll snip off the back. And then you're just going to put glue in all the little folds. Like I said, you can do it while you're folding it up. Sometimes I do, especially on the bigger ones. Little ones, not so much. And see what I mean about two-sided paper? With two-sided paper, if you have it hanging over the edge, I think sometimes it just adds a little interest to it. But you could either use this side or this side. Alright, on this one, I have some snowflakes. And I think I'll use one of these little snowflakes. Little snowflake Snickers. And put it on this one. But first thing we're going to do is cut off this little edge right here. Stick my little snowflake on there. And then you can just use your hand or whatever to get the sticky off the back, whatever's showing. See how cute and easy that is? So, this is my easy Christmas embellishment for 4th week of 24 weeks of Christmas. I really, really enjoyed making these, and I'm going to use up a whole bunch of my scraps because, you know, I'll be doing, oh, I didn't show you how I did that one. But I will be doing, you know, a December daily or Christmas junk journal or something. And I'll be sure to use these on it in some of them. So, all I did, let me show you how I made this real quick. I'm not going to do it because it takes a while for this to dry. But I have this ribbon right here that I got, oh gosh, I don't know, a couple of years ago from Recollections. It's the dyeable kind of lace. And it's not really wide enough for me with what I wanted it. So what I did was I cut 2 lengths of it. And then just showing you, I took some Fabri-Tac and just run it along the edge of this right here. And I glued those 2 edges together to make a long piece of ribbon or lace. And then I just did it the same way, folded it up. But it did take a little while because it took a little while, you know, to dry and everything. But I think the results on this is really pretty. And then you can see from the back side what it looked like. And then I just took a single piece of that and ran it down the middle in one of these little fabric flowers that my friend Nora sent me. So that is that. Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed this little tidbit of how to make paper ruffles and even fabric ruffles without sewing. Because I know so many people don't have a sewing machine or, you know, don't know how to sew or whatever. And you still can make paper ruffles. So thank you so much for watching. Please give this a thumbs up. It really helps YouTube notice me. And if you're not yet subscribed to my channel, go ahead and do so by hitting that red subscribe button down there. And don't forget to tap the bell so you can be notified when I upload new videos. And don't forget to go over and see Angie's, Tony's, and excuse me, Gareth's videos for today. Alright, thank you so much. God bless, and I'll see you all again soon. Bye.